the cloud. Well, welcome to, I guess, my first official salon, video guild of the AI Salon. And great of you all to be here. And there's just so much going on that, it's almost like this is a way to catch up. Although Jeannie's going to do a demo of this amazing new HeyGen UGC, and I'm gonna explain user generated content. Yeah, UGC, and I've learned more about that actually just in the last few days. So I'm going to set some context for her, and then Kyle's been doing this really fun Frank animated cartoon. I don't know if has everybody here seen Frank? Has anybody not seen Frank at all? Okay, cool. So many have, but
I haven't
some
seen it.
haven't. Okay, cool. And neither has Nancy. I saw her with the head shake. Cool. So, but
Kelly's shaking her head because she has seen Frank, and she's like, "Oh no, we're not going."
Hello, y'all are in for a treat. I'm just gonna say that.
And I don't know. Have you done the How I Make Frank demo before anywhere, Kyle? This is a world.
Well, I've done it. Actually, Frank was born as a demo of the tool. So we can do Frank, but I can also do some other character other than Frank.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
Great. Hey, Scott, welcome. Where are you? I've done geographically for everybody else, but where are you, Scott? You're muted.
Coastal Maine.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so we have two from Maine, two from Texas, a couple of LA. I think Jonathan might be the only one in the New York area, and Bond and I are both in the Bay Area. So anyway, welcome. Here we go. So yeah, I've got a document that I'm going to share just by way of kind of giving context to what we're going to cover today. And let me see. I think this should work. I don't need to share sound at the moment, but yeah, you see so yeah, this is the guild. So this is an interesting article in Adobe, which I have actually open in a tab at the moment. But whoops, nope. There we go. Generative AI, video in particular, as far as I'm concerned, is really helping people to be more creative. And we're going to talk about Adobe Firefly in particular, because Kyle is using Adobe Firefly. Do I have that right, Kyle? I think I do.
I'm using Adobe Express for the Frank thing.
Yeah. Oh, Adobe Express.
Adobe Express, yep.
Gotcha. Which probably has Firefly built into it at this point. Maybe not. Anyway, we can get into that later.
In some pieces, yep.
And also by way of context, I wanted to share the salon post, which I did a while back. I think maybe when I first showed up at the salon, and I'll put the link to it. You can scroll down. It's not that long ago, but Tela published this really pretty impressive list of video applications. They limited it to 40. I said earlier, there are millions of them, but it's actually a really impressive document, which I'm not showing off very well. Oh wait, I see. Yeah, there's their animated GIF of them all. And I guess I'm sharing that not only because we're all spending a process these days of sorting out which applications we want to use and what application is good at what, but I'm also into doing stuff that's off the shelf and not having to install things on my computer. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's so much power in these applications. That's just where my priority is. And one of the things that I've been kind of focusing on recently is looking at these AI avatars. And another link that I'll put into the post when I post the recording is this. It is from Synthesia, but two of the platforms that are doing among the best lip sync are HeyGen and Synthesia, and they've done a comparison in terms of feature. Now, this is going to be a little more biased. One of the things that I didn't see initially is that you can actually sort out these distinctions and drill down a little bit further in terms of the particular dimensions of which comparison you want to make. So this is about avatars. This is about voices. They've put, Synthesia has 130 languages. They claim that HeyGen only has 4. The video platform has different features. Some are more team oriented. Anyway, it's a really interesting area, but the avatars in general, I think, are something that we're going to see a lot more of, and that's going to become a more interesting issue. In fact, if you haven't seen this, I'll put the link in as well. Oh, I don't think I shared sound. Let me share sound. Give me just 1 second. So it's one thing to hypothetically, and when we get into this UGC thing, did I share it? Oh yeah. Are you seeing the Guardian?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So this is actually the government of Ukraine. Can I make this ad go away? Maybe not. So the government of Ukraine now has its official spokesperson as this AI avatar. The video, it had the video. Maybe I have to click on that image from before. I wanted to play you her video. No, that's just a graphic. She does speak.
Go ahead, John. Make her lips move.
Yeah, it'll happen. Well,
I'll do it. I mean, I'll
yeah.
make her lips move. No, I don't have the article up.
All right, thanks for volunteering, Jeannie. It's interesting. I saw it. I probably could jump to YouTube, but it's funny that they don't link to it here. I'll do that. What the heck? People underutilize YouTube, in my opinion. Somebody just asked about a TikTok thing in the Video Guild, and I gave them a link. So Ukraine spokesperson. So there's a story about it. I guess we can just go with. Yeah, I see.
This is Victoria Shi, Ukraine's new AI-generated virtual spokesperson.
I can handle a variety of routine tasks. As a result, real-world diplomats have more time to address more difficult issues.
I sent questions for Shi to the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry, where officials wrote her responses. First up, why does Ukraine's Foreign Ministry have an AI spokesperson?
Diplomacy is a rather conservative field that is often slow to adopt cutting-edge innovations. Ukraine, however, has wartime diplomacy. If we want to win the war, we need to be one step ahead technologically. And we are, as you can see.
What can you do that people can't?
Well, I have a side opinion, which is that it's nice to have a spokesperson who can't be a target of assassination, given the circumstances in the Ukraine. But my point is that this is now reality. A couple months ago, there was an Indian newscaster now who is an AI generated avatar. So what's going on is that these avatars are becoming more and more widespread. They're also becoming incredibly realistic to the point where it's difficult to tell the difference, and in some cases, almost impossible to tell the difference. And we certainly can count on the AI getting better so that we're not going to be able to tell the difference between a digitally generated AI avatar and a real person. And that's an issue. But one of the other areas, passing it over to Jeannie, is this whole area of UGC, or user-generated content. And I actually watched a HeyGen webinar on Thursday. They do it, by the way, every Thursday on YouTube. HeyGen does a live webinar. And they were talking about this UGC feature, and they actually had a couple of the actor, whatever you want to call them, influencers who sell products on TikTok. And they used them as models to generate the avatars that are available within the HeyGen application. Is that clear? And it was.
Did they talk about how much they compensated them?
No. They were clearly paid. So there's no question that they were saying positive things about HeyGen, and they were the HeyGen guy was asking them about what was good about this, and they were all on board. So what was interesting, and just a kind of one other little background share, was I went into ChatGPT because one of those influencers mentioned the UGC industry, right? I'm familiar with UGC, like going way back when YouTube was new. That was like the big thing about YouTube, was you could make your own videos. right? And they called that user-generated content. So I, to be honest, was not really aware of the UGC industry. And so I went into, of course, where do you go? You go to ChatGPT. Oh, what do I have? Multiple. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I have to. I have multiple instances of Google open, of Chrome open, so I have to share the right version of Chrome. So I went into ChatGPT. I'll put the link to this little dialogue in the post as well. But I asked ChatGPT, what is the UGC industry? And they talked about user-generated content in general, but then talked about how brands are using UGC to get more engagement. And so I said, are AI-generated avatars viable as UGC spokesmen? And very quickly came back with yes, because there's consistency and control. You can personalize. I think the big deal is you can scale it. So you can A/B test different versions of an ad, innovate, and also it's very cost effective, right? You don't have to pay an actor and you can produce the stuff in a matter of minutes, as Jeannie's about to show us. It did also, without me asking, come back with the challenges. And of course, the big thing I'm worried about, I don't know if it's, of course, you tell me, but is the authenticity, right? They're getting engagement, but don't you get your more engagement with a real person? And then ethical concerns and technical limitations. And Kyle, you're raising your hand. How polite.
Thank you. I don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't know if you know him, but does a lot of info stuff.
Not personally.
Yeah.
He's a big internet marketing guy, by the way, for people that might not know.
2 days ago, he said that, just as influencers overtook traditional advertising, that digital influencers are going to take over influencers in the UGC market. And I think to your authenticity point, I mean, that's what my company's all about, is authentic storytelling. I think that we're not that far away from these things being indistinguishable from real people. Right now, you can absolutely tell. I don't think we're that far away.
No, we're not at all. All right, so that's what UGC is. And Jeannie has demoed and has really kind of prepared to show us how that works inside HeyGen. So can I pass the baton to you, Jeannie? And why don't you show us what you've learned and what you've been doing?
Sure. Let me see if I can share my screen. So we're on
Do you
Zoom.
need permission or not? Yeah, let me know.
So share.
Yep. It's coming up.
Now,
There you go.
so can you hear me talking?
Yeah, we hear you talking. We see your Zoom tab.
Okay. Is there another step for the sound in the video?
Yeah, so back up, stop sharing for a second.
Share. Oh,
No, stop sharing.
there it is.
Okay. Now click share again, and before you share, make sure that there's a little button that says share sound. A
Oh,
little
there it
check
is.
box.
Thank
So if
you.
you check that box, then your sound will be shared.
Did I also check the optimize for the video clip?
To be honest, I don't know if that makes any difference or not. It can't.
All right. Okay, we'll go without it for now. So let me go ahead and share this and see if I can get to my stuff. Let me see if I can get rid of this bar. Not necessary. Uh-oh. Is that going to be in the way? Okay, people, are you there? How do I?
Yeah, we see CapCut.
I'm trying. I need to be able to see CapCut up here. So I need to get rid of this.
Is that a little recording bar in your way? Is that the problem?
Yes, the bar is in the way.
There's an arrow that will make that jump to the bottom. If you click that little arrow that moves it.
Oh, people, I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't see it.
We're all learning here.
Okay, so I don't know how to get around that because I don't want to close CapCut. But
Don't close CapCut, but yeah, go ahead. You can show the demos, or you can just move that thing.
We got some people in the chat, John. Do they know how to get rid of this bar?
I do. I would just move it to the bottom, but there's an arrow on.
Oh, there it is. Oh, geez. Good Lord.
There you go. That was easy.
Okay. Okay, good. So over here in HeyGen, I popped in because we had this new feature for creating the avatars, and it was called, if you see my arrow over here, it was
Yep.
called URL to UGC last week. Now it's called URL to ads. So that has changed already.
Yeah, and I think that hang on just one second, because I think that's a really important distinction. So it's not user-generated content in the generic sense. They really are ads. That's what this thing is creating. So I think they've clarified it
And
and
that's
made it
new
better
this
name.
week. Since
Right.
you and I talked, this has happened.
It's a moving target, all of this always.
It is. So I had a goal, and my goal was to create an ad. And this is the ad that I created over here. And I can play a piece of it. Let me know if you can hear it. Let's not. That didn't play. Hold on.
There you go.
Move us again. Here we go. Let's see if we can hear it.
Here are 3 reasons why
We hear it.
LLC is your go-to for all your electrical needs. First, their expertise in heat pump installations ensures ultimate comfort with heat for cold months and AC for warm months. Second, they provide a wide range of services from electrical panels to generator backups and electric vehicle chargers. Lastly, Lake Electric helps you navigate through Efficiency Main's rebate program to save you money. Call 207-450-8752 or email lakeelectricmeadmail.com for consultations or services. Experience top-notch electrical solutions with Lake Electric. Here,
So there were a couple of things in there real quick. Her lips were really synced up, and her movement looked very real to me. She had some issues with saying Gmail. She called it need mail. Well, I don't need mail. But I thought that the quality of this thing was just astonishing. So I took it into CapCut and edited it. But that was what I had. I had a goal, or I had to solve a problem. So I think all of us are using AI weekly anyways. I use it daily. So you know what I'm talking about with that. So then what I did was I created a few more ads, but the simplicity of this was crazy. So I'm going to do it right now. But I'm going to do it really quick. And so, but here's the thing, you're about to be shocked. I'm going to pick a major retailer, and it's going to go and look at their website. So I'm going to enter the, Lowe's.com. And let me see if I get that out of the way. There we go. So let's pick on Lowe's for a minute and generate an ad for Lowe's. Well,
Not a specific product, but just the general website.
Yeah. You can hone in on a product, but let's start here. So they're saying, okay, is Lowe's home improvement? I'm going to add, how can we help you? Because I can go ahead and edit this. And then it goes on to say that this paragraph is about Lowe's, etc., etc. Would I like to add a logo? Well, we all know that Lowe's, Home Depot, and everyone, they really do have a logo that they use. And so some people don't know how to go out and grab those logos. But I went out to Lowe's over here. I'm going to move my window again. And I'm going to open Word. And I'm going to have a blank screen here on Word. And this is significant for people who like shortcuts. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and insert my screenshot because I want their logo. Okay, so now I have their logo. Okay, it's in the Word. Well, I want it on my desktop or on my C drive so I can use it. So I'm going to right click on it. A lot of people don't know this because you can very quickly get other people's information and put it over here on the C drive. So now if I go back to, let me get back to, where is it? My HeyGen chat. There she is. Okay, I'm gonna add the logo here, and then we're just gonna go. There's 2 more steps, and we're just gonna be off and running here. Now, see, this is in my way again. Hold on. So there's the logo. We've got the paragraph, and we're going to go and grab an avatar. I don't know why it's asking me to add media. Let me just run through this real quick.
No, that media
It
is just
needs to
an option, I think.
Yeah, it needs to, there it
You can
is.
add your own
Next.
media.
Okay. So I'm clicking next, and it is going to ask me the target audience. These are insufficient because I don't even see contractor here in this Lowe's, right? But I do have men, women.
And you can write contractor up above.
I can go comma, contractor. Let me go. And thanks for your help, John, because I'm trying to work on.
I saw that demo on Thursday, which helped.
Oh, good. English original is fine. And I'm going to click next.
Although I'll point out that one of the functions of this is that you could create this ad in, as many languages as you want, basically. So if you're selling a specific product, like, I don't know, if Kyle was selling AI Salon, let's pretend it was for pay, and he could create a Spanish version and a German version, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's asked me what I want to use it for. So I'm going to just do a TikToker.
Yeah, I mean, it's generated 4 options of scripts that you get to choose from and or edit if you want.
And then here you have a choice. And I pause here because we're defaulted to a template, but don't go there. Go to the avatar first. So we're going to click on avatar and select one of their options. So I love this girl. I'm going to choose my favorite, which is this gentleman, and I'm going to choose him inside something, let's say, a home improvement store. And then it's going to ask me, well, then I have to make another selection, a template and or music. I'm going to skip over music. I'm going to click on a template, and I'm going to verify, what do I want this to look like? So I'm just going to keep him in the store, I think.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
On number 3 there, that's the image that you uploaded as when it asked.
It is.
Isn't it?
It
So
is.
we're seeing him overlaid on top of the image that you uploaded.
We
And that's in some of the other templates too.
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Isn't that neat the way that went in there automatically? I think, though, that might ride through it. So I'm going to choose them in the store. And then I can put music on there, but I don't really want to hear the music at this point. I'm going to submit it this way.
Okay. Awesome.
And it's going to go off and within 5 minutes, create an advertisement. It's telling me that it's going. Excuse me.
All right. While it's generating, I don't want to interrupt if there's something else, but while it's generating, we also could open it to questions or comments about this whole avatar thing.
I have a
Well,
question.
Yeah, RJ, go ahead.
So normally to use a company's IP, like their logo, which they're very sensitive about people using,
yes,
you
they
have to
are.
be authorized. So,
Yeah. Mandy?
so could you help me understand how you were able to get authorization from Lowe's to use their logo to publish it here?
I'm really glad you asked because currently with HeyGen, nobody's asking permission for anything. And I was surprised. I was like, am I going to be restricted? Is it going to say Lowe's is a huge retailer? I'm not going to let you look at their website. And I haven't found a restriction yet. So I was going to test a nonprofit, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, RJ. I want to throw in 2 cents about that because where people are using these ads is to resell products for which they make a commission, right? There's nothing in it for Jeannie to do a Lowe's ad, right? There's only something in it for an affiliate that, for example, Amazon has a big, to take the biggest example, Amazon won't mind you using their logo because you're going to be selling products through Amazon in order to make a commission, presumably. That's my presumption. And so there's no problem with using Amazon's logo because you're part of the Amazon affiliate program selling products in that way. Does that make sense?
Well, my guess
Right.
is then, as being part of the affiliate program, you also probably got authorization to use their logo, and they probably gave restrictions and said how you can use it, how you can't use it. But I don't think the average person can just go taking a corporate logo and putting it in a video and publishing it somewhere legally. I don't think.
Right. And for me, I'm not going to publish this. This is for the test today. The advertisement that I did do, I had full permission.
Right.
I guess I'm kind of showing that this is where we're headed. We can just
Yeah.
go read this stuff.
Right. So technically, RJ, from a legal point of view, you're correct. And the reality is, in practice, the only time that I've ever heard of a copyright violation being, brought to a lawsuit is when somebody's making money with somebody else's intellectual property. Even if Jeannie did this as a demo and put it on YouTube, this is how this works, which she's not intending to do anyway. But she's not making money off it. If you're making money, and she became a big influencer and was making $200,000 a year by being an influencer, now we've got a potential problem. But if she's just doing it for fun or educational purposes, they don't, technically you're right, and practically it's not an issue. That makes sense? I hope that's helpful. That's just my point of view about it.
Yeah, okay. So,
Okay.
but if you try to do this with a Star Wars kind of IP image or something like that, even though you're not making money, my guess is that the Star Wars corporate owners would probably clamp down on it. So
I don't think so if you're not making.
Unless it falls into fair use. Like if you're trying to represent it as your own brand, then I think you're in trouble. But there's a fair use doctrine and First Amendment. They're not going to come after you unless they find it in some way damaging or threatening. People make videos all the time talking about Star Wars and use those logos. Sometimes they get cease and desisted, but for the most part, it falls in our fair use.
okay, then
If I take Star Wars and make a T-shirt and start selling T-shirts, then you've got an issue. But anyway, so Jeannie, let's see what we created.
Okay, I think this is ready. Let's see if we can make it.
What you created.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to level up your home game? Look no further than Lowe's Home Improvement. We've got everything you need to transform your space into something extraordinary. From tools to appliances, decor to DIY, we've got you covered. Shop online or visit us in store today and let us help you bring your vision to life. Lowe's, for all your home improvement.
The logo.
Level up your home game.
Wait, let me
Look
make
no
it
further
stop.
than Lowe's Home
Stop. Good Lord. I was not impressed with that. I did
Yeah,
it.
the zoom is definitely weird. The logo at the end was good. I think you probably would have done better without uploading your own media, so it grabbed media on its own. But it's a great demo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I show you Home Depot real quick? Right here, right
Sure.
next to it. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, this Home Depot.
Hey
Throw
there.
it up the way you did.
Nope. The Home Depot has got you covered. From appliances to tools, bath and faucets to outdoor living, we've got it all. Need new furniture or a bathroom remodel? We've got sales up to 50% off select items. Plus, don't miss our special buy savings on appliances. And remember, we offer services like tool rental, credit cards, and home installations. So whether you're a pro, a student, or a housewife, the Home Depot is here for you. Shop now and make your home dreams a reality.
I like the fact that the hand gestures are in there because a lot of these avatars tend to be just like the talking head. And I like that you can see that. But, like anything, it's an iterative process and it's not going to be perfect the first time. And you have the opportunity to regenerate, to edit, to refine. And did you want to show us what you did in CapCut regarding how you refined it?
This is where I do my work. So I did take, let me see. I did take the Home Depot one into CapCut over here. Let's see, there he is. And I don't like moving the screen around so much over here. Let me put that up there. Oh, it's still loading. There we go. So I brought it into CapCut where I can edit. So it's over here, and this is where I tossed one of the photos into it. But you can do a visual override in the tracks. You can
Hey there, looking for some help? The Home Depot has got you covered. From appliances to tools, bath and faucets to outdoor living, we've got it all. Need new furniture or a bathroom?
So right here, I can go back into the websites. Let's just say this was my website that I was making an ad for. I can go into my website, get a better image, do a tracked override on this,
Remodel?
which is what I did here. This picture
Uh-huh.
I dragged in. And I can also override
50% off.
the text here.
Plus, don't miss our special buy savings on appliances.
So that's what I had today, but I do have one more really special avatar to show you if you have just 4 more seconds.
Okay, we do. And while you're bringing that up in this chat, I see that Scott is saying that he can see a way to use this approach in a affiliate program that he's a part of. I wonder if the company I'm connected to would have any limits on AI generated content. I suspect not. I guess I'll give it a try and see where it leads. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission. LOL. Okay, what do you got?
Well, Kyle wasn't on last night, so I snagged an image. I don't know if he saw it, but here it is. Hello, irregulars. I can't be here tonight, and here's Vicky. Oh, hello, irregulars. I can't be here tonight, and here's Vicky. Okay. The funny, it took a half an hour for it to put my voice on Kyle. And so anyways, it was just fun to do. And see, here's where I didn't ask permission. What I didn't do, I took Kyle's image and I said to myself, I'm not trying to be Kyle. So I didn't try to take his voice. And I can I take his voice? Yes. But that's not why. I was just trying to be funny. That's what I had.
And that's great. And you use DID as opposed to HeyGen. What? Any particular reason that you did DID versus HeyGen?
I have been making avatars in DID since last summer, so that's what I use. And every month it gets better and better.
All right. Well, I want to try and keep to our hour format. So let's give a round of applause, unmute, and say thank you, Jeannie. Great job. That was really impressive and useful, educational. I really appreciate it. You're getting a lot of applause emoticons. I hope you see that too, Jeannie. So thank you very much. And Kyle, how do you make Frank? We want to inquire.
First of all, I'll show you who Frank is. So this is a Twitter account for the Daily Jank with Frank. If you haven't seen Frank, so Frank's an animated hot dog with a potty mouth.
Hey, it's a Daily Jank with Frank. It's April 23rd, 2024. I'm Frank. Hey, so listen, there's this thing going on in Colorado. They got this AI bill. It's called Senate Bill 24-205. Yeah, what's with these politicians and their stupid fucking numbers? Anyway, this bill's some AI bill, and what it's supposed to do is if you do something with AI, you got to label it, and you got to get lawyers to look at your stuff and make sure it doesn't.
So anyway, so you can go, if you go to the @Daily Jank on Twitter, you can see all of Frank's little, he comments on AI technology. And can
I interrupt you for 1 second, Kyle? Because when I saw that last one, I was like, where did you write the script? Did you use ChatGPT? And no, I just did an improv. Yeah. So Kyle is bringing some personal talent to the scripting. I'm just going to say it because I thought that was a really funny one.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is all just sort of, as Harry Mack would say, off the top of the dome when I'm in my lives. But how you get to this tool, what's nice about the tool is you just record, or you can upload an audio that you've already recorded. When you come to Adobe Express, express.adobe.com, This tool is not easy to find. So the only way I know how to find it is to search for it. So if you type in animate, the first thing that comes up is animate from audio. That's the tool. So animate from audio, smaller. Okay. And then you end up on this page. And so this is it. And so over to the right, so at the top here, you've got characters, background, and then size. So you can choose, different, like you can do it for YouTube, you can do horizontal or vertical. I'll leave it in vertical. And then you go grab a character. We can grab something different other than Frank.
But where did Frank come from?
From here. He's in here.
Oh, so he's just a default character.
He's just a default character. And then for the background, for the background, you can put, other things. You can create a transparent background. In my case, I uploaded a custom background. But you can just grab any one of these characters. They're not super sophisticated. They're kind of Beavis and Butthead-ish in terms of quality of anime or, quality of illustration, but they're fine. And certainly if you want to do something like, cute little carrot, there's your carrot, and then you can jump over to background, see if we can find there's a summer background. Let's see, spring. That's good. And then you can move the carrot around on the thing. And then, so once you're set up, then I click the enhanced speech button because I'm normally just recording on a, laptop microphone. And then basically you just record the audio. So, let's see. Okay. So here's my acting skills. Hey, it's Carl. No, wait. Hey, it's Carl the Carrot here. Getting ready to get plucked out of the earth. Happy spring, happy planting. If you like fresh veggies, come on down to Carl's Carrot Hut on Poughkeepsie Boulevard. All right, see you later. So you can just record whatever you want. You can script it ahead of time. You can, I was just sort of doing these quickly because it's a tool that we're essentially done now. Whatever gets recorded, it just tosses it in a queue, and then it comes up with all of the animation for what I just recorded. And so you can then we can let this thing spin up here, but then you can add background music to it in Adobe Express. You can publish it out, things like that. So it's actually a very, very simple tool. And by adding your own custom background, even with their stock images, you can do this pretty quickly. So again, this is a tool. It's not a super sophisticated tool, but if you just need to knock something out quickly, or if you wanted to do a whole series of these things, say for a children's book or something that's silly, you can just knock them out. So hey, it's Carl the Carrot here, getting ready to get plucked out of the earth. Happy spring, happy planting. If you like fresh veggies, come on down to Carl's Carrot Hut on Poughkeepsie Boulevard. All right, see you later. There you go. And then you can either just download it raw like that, or you can open it in. They've got an editor where you can add, text to it. I can add text onto here. Just grab that, move it up there, right? Grab the text. I can put media, like I can put audio in the background. Let's see. Get rid of that thing. So if I click that,
you had healthy business there.
Yeah, exactly.
Business is a healthy business. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then I can just play it on Poughkeepsie Boulevard. All right, see you. And then just download it, and you're off to the races. That's it. Really simple.
Awesome. It's really interesting contrast. There's a question in the chat we'll get to in a second, but I like this approach better than the human avatars, because the human avatars are fake. These are actually authentic. You're not trying to be anything that you're not.
Yeah, these are faker. Yeah, it's funny actually. One of the things that we're doing in Storyvine is bringing personas to life, and one of the creative conventions that I chose was not to use photorealistic images of people. I'm using charcoal sketches or watercolors, for exactly that reason, so that we're not trying to, pull the wool over anyone's eyes. We're saying this is an avatar, this is a persona. And
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
very cool. So got a couple of questions already. Claire is asking, do you need a paid subscription in order to use your own image?
I do not know. I don't know. I've got a paid subscription to Adobe, so I don't know what of Adobe Express is freely available. So I would just say, just go to Adobe Express and just try it. Because I honestly don't know. I know Firefly you need a subscription, but I don't know if you do with Adobe Express.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, anyway, so anybody can drop it in the Video Guild on AI Salon. Bond, you've got your hands up. What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to know if I could take a photographic image of someone from the 1850s and do that same thing. It's not for sale. It's a personal project.
You can do that on DID or HeyGen, or probably even Synthesia.
Okay, DID, I don't know what that is.
D-ID.com. That's what
Okay.
that's what Jeannie was doing earlier. The one where she took my photo and put her voice on it, you can do the same thing. Upload your, photographic, your photo of your relative, and then just do whatever voice you want behind it.
Okay, cool.
To be clear, this Adobe Express thing only works with their animated character avatars, correct?
Wait, say that again?
You can only do the animation here in Adobe Express like you just showed with their avatars, not with a photo that you would upload of your own.
I think so, because I assume they've got all the different animation, frames, like built into these things. So
Correct. So it's like cartoony.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I don't think that it's going to be that long. Let's see, category, character. Yeah, I don't see anywhere where you can upload your own. I think we're again, probably very, very close to being able to, just use Gen AI to create a character and then pick the character and have it do all this stuff automatically. We're probably pretty close to that now, but this particular tool, they've got all the animations for each of these things built in, which is good, because it's like, the eyes, look like a cartoon and the hands do what they do in cartoons. So the style of these is pretty particular. So if this doesn't work for you creatively, you're kind of stuck. But if you need, odd looking Amy and her best friend Jake, then you're good.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. And within the ones that are doing the photo stuff, there's the opportunity to choose their avatars, which they're filming and getting the different motions and hand gestures and so forth. If you want to record your own, Synthesia, I think, is actually inviting corporations that want to do it to come to their studio in either London or New York to record it well. Anyway, it's moving very fast. So that's something I think in the future. So in the 8 minutes we got left, I really wanted to kind of open the floor to comments about what you want the Video Guild to be. Are weekend meetings better than daytime meetings? Do people have a preference about when we meet, how often we meet, and those kind of things? So what do y'all think? What do y'all want? What's the most useful? Just unmute yourself.
I hear there's an open slot on Saturday nights at about 2:00 Eastern.
That's Kyle's. You're cutting back on your schedule, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm taking weekends off for a bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. 5-day a week kind of guy, huh?
Exactly.
For those of you that might, you want to put in a plug for those of you that might not know that Kyle, I don't know, maybe everybody here died, and Bond might not. Everybody know what
At AI Learning Lab on TikTok, I go live nightly, weeknights now, around 8:00 Mountain.
Okay. Be there, be square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Search for Kyle. How do we
What's that?
How do we find you on TikTok? How do we search for that?
Yeah, just search for @AI Learning Lab, all with no spaces.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks.
And that's his username on TikTok is AI Learning Lab, all one word.
But I think you have to be careful. There's another AI Learning Labs. It's a different guy.
And there's also AI Learning Lab with 2 L's at the beginning, and that's a guy copying me.
You get the one that looks like Kyle.
Yeah, don't follow the one that's not me but looks like me.
What's the old advertising line? Accept no substitutes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. What other input about our video guild on AI Lab?
I'd like to throw out 2 things. One is that while I appreciate setting a specific day and time, and having that be consistent, I don't know who will show up, but I definitely know that puts some pretty hard limits if it's always at the same time on the same day for people who don't have access to that particular space. So just throwing that out there. And also, I'm really a big fan of like kind of what happened today in that I learned something new, got a chance to do some interaction, and I do really appreciate that piece or that part of an interaction when I come to these kind of things. So,
and what was new was being exposed to apps you hadn't seen before, that kind of thing.
yeah, having a demo, actually, because both Kyle and Jeannie were able to do it so quickly, even though they were very limited in scope, being able to show a demo of a particular thing gives me an idea of what it might take from me rather than just tell me the name of it and then send me off to do my own digging. I like that little bit of learning that I got, so I appreciate that.
All right, understood. And Danielle's saying make a poll or dates with dates and time. We might want to do that. Anybody else got input, questions, suggestions?
Well, I have
Comment?
2 things if I can jump back in. It was really fun for me to go out on a limb and do a demo. It didn't work out perfectly, but I'm really proud of myself that I did it. So thank you for that opportunity. And also, I think it's a great idea if somebody wants to give us 10 minutes of their time, something new that you found that you just can't wait to share. Because it's good practice, right? And you've got a nice, friendly audience. And then the other thing, one of my goals in the next month is to download a local LLM and do some free work locally on my GPU that I bought. Now I have to figure out how to use it.
All right, good. That's great, Jenny. And thank you again. I thought it was great. And it is a good model. I totally am open. If any of you have something that you want to demo and share, please do so. And I'm always experimenting, and I will do more demos myself. And I also invited Henrik, who you probably know posts a lot in the Video Guild. He's been doing some really fun music videos. And I asked him if he wanted to do a demo. So please raise your hand to do that. And RJ, you're raising your hand to speak.
Thanks. Hi. So I was just going to suggest that if you guys are interested in learning how to use local models, Sam, now I'm going to try to pronounce his last name. He's in our group, Talia Bracci, I think is his last name. It starts with TAG, but the G is silent. You can see him in the members list, but he has a lot of experience in using local large language models on his computers because he's got a lot of high-powered hardware. But he's willing to, I think, if you ask him, maybe with a direct message, well, John, I think he would probably be interested in presenting here, sort of off the cuff, not necessarily something fancy and, super prepared, but just he can explain stable diffusion and all kinds of stuff. So I just thought I'd let you know that because I think he's offered the previous guild presenter here that option, but I don't know whether that ever happened for some reason.
All right. Yeah. And if you feel like sending him a private message on AI Salon, that would be great too. And I'll definitely keep my eye out for him.
Well,
yeah,
I think
Kelly,
he wants to know what you guys are interested in, or if you're ready to use large language models on your own machine or not, and what in particular, probably.
Well, just something to know about. But yeah, I just need to connect with him. So, or maybe make an intro in the messaging.
Yeah, if you send him
if you send him a direct
I just have
message,
to find him, RJ.
So yeah,
okay. I will. Got it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Kelly.
I like the idea of inviting different people to demo things that they're particularly interested in or competent at. Because if I want to dig in a little bit deeper and I have a question, then I kind of know who the expert is for that particular tool. So I think that would be a great idea.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, without any other hands up, we're at time. I want to respect your time to try and keep things on a nice structured time plan. So an extra round of applause for Jeannie and Kyle for those demos and showing us good things. And, you know, it's really valuable to see and hear. And I learned some new stuff myself today too. So I like that too. So thank you for making the time and for being here. And we will be doing more, and I will post the recording with the links as promised. Enjoy the rest
Thanks
of
you all.
wherever you are.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, I put Sam's ID in the chat.
Okay, I'll click on it before I stop here.
Yeah, before you stop, you can click on that.
All right, I did it.
Okay, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.